Baphomet is typically depicted as a seated figure with the head of a goat, large horns, and a human-like body that combines male and female features. It has a pair of wings, one arm raised upwards and one pointing down, symbolizing balance between opposites. A pentagram is often seen on its forehead, and a torch or flame above its head represents enlightenment. The figure's chest may have feminine features, while a caduceus, a staff with two intertwined serpents, is centered on its abdomen, symbolizing duality and healing. The legs are often goat-like, with hooves, and Baphomet is usually shown seated on a block or throne, grounding its mystical appearance. This complex, striking image blends both light and dark elements, symbolizing the unity of opposites and deeper spiritual truths. The Baphomet symbol, especially as illustrated by French occultist Éliphas Lévi in the 19th century, contains a wealth of symbolic elements, each intended to convey esoteric concepts. Levi's Baphomet was designed to represent dualities and the reconciliation of opposites, drawing on hermetic, alchemical, and mystical traditions. Here's a breakdown of the symbol's components from head to toe and their meanings. 1. The goat head. Meaning: the goat head, often associated with pagan deities and fertility gods like Pan, symbolizes nature, instinct, and primal energy. It also represents the misunderstood, often feared aspects of life and humanity's shadow side. By choosing a goat, a creature with symbolic associations of strength, resilience, and the untamed, Levi illustrated Baphomet as a figure embodying both reverence and fear, the dualities of human nature. 2. The horns. Meaning: the horns represent the duality of existence, signifying the balance between the spiritual and material worlds. Pointing upwards, they symbolize aspiration and spiritual ascension, while also referencing natural wisdom and animal instinct. In some depictions, the horns are in the shape of a crescent, echoing connections to ancient lunar and cosmic symbolism. 3. The pentagram on the forehead. Meaning: the pentagram, an ancient symbol of harmony and the union of elements, is often depicted upright on Baphomet's forehead to indicate balance and protection. In many traditions, the pentagram represents the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, and serves as a protective, stabilizing symbol. Its placement on the forehead suggests spiritual insight, wisdom, and intellectual sovereignty. 4. The flame or torch above the head. Meaning: the flame or torch of illumination represents enlightenment, divine wisdom, and the soul's connection to the divine. It signifies the light of knowledge, illuminating the dark aspects of the psyche and guiding individuals towards self-realization. Positioned above the head, it serves as a symbol of intellect, divine inspiration, and the search for truth. 5. The winged arms, with one pointing up and one pointing down. Meaning: Baphomet's arms, one pointing up with the Latin word solve, meaning dissolve, and the other down with coagulate, represent the alchemical process of transformation, dissolution, and unification. This gesture conveys the hermetic principle as above, so below, meaning that what occurs in the higher spiritual realms is mirrored in the lower material realms. It also speaks to the balance between dualities, such as creation and destruction, and the unity of opposites. 6. The wings. Meaning: the wings on Baphomet's back symbolize freedom, transcendence, and the ability to rise above earthly desires and limitations. Wings are often associated with angelic or divine forces, suggesting that Baphomet embodies both higher consciousness and earthly instincts, merging angelic and demonic attributes. 7. The androgynous or hermaphroditic body. Meaning: The duality of Baphomet's body, typically depicted with both male and female features, represents the unity of masculine and feminine energies. This androgyny is symbolic of balance, wholeness, and self-realization through the reconciliation of gendered qualities within oneself, reflecting the alchemical goal of uniting dualities to achieve spiritual completeness. 8. Breasts. Meaning: the feminine breasts symbolize fertility, nurturing, and life-giving aspects, representing the life force and the nurturing aspect of nature. The breasts remind us of the importance of compassion, empathy, and the receptive qualities necessary for spiritual growth. 9. The caduceus as the phallus. Meaning: the intertwined serpents at the center of Baphomet's body represent the caduceus, an ancient symbol associated with Hermes and Mercury. This symbol, often depicted as the phallus, represents duality, healing, and transformation. The two serpents coiling around a central rod reflect the balance between opposing forces, such as light and dark, good and evil, and the unification of spiritual and physical health. 10. The goat legs. Meaning: Baphomet's legs, often depicted as goat hooves, symbolize the earthly, grounded nature of existence, as goats are creatures that tread firmly on rocky and challenging terrains. These legs represent the material and instinctual side of life, illustrating that spirituality is rooted in physicality and natural existence. 11. The dark throne or base. Meaning: in some depictions, Baphomet is seated on a dark cube or throne, symbolizing stability, endurance, and the fixed nature of earthly reality. The cube represents the material world, often seen as limited or constrained, yet necessary for spiritual growth and balance. This base serves as the foundation upon which the balance of Baphomet is built, grounding its symbolism in the material world. Overall symbolism. The Baphomet figure as a whole illustrates the concept of balance and unity within opposing forces, embodying the hermetic principle that unity can be achieved through the integration of dualities. Each part serves to demonstrate that Baphomet is not merely a figure of worship or fear, but an allegorical symbol of enlightenment, representing the path to self-discovery, spiritual balance, and the merging of the conscious and unconscious self. The figure of Baphomet is one of history's most enigmatic symbols, evolving from a medieval accusation of heresy to a modern symbol of esoteric knowledge and countercultural defiance. Across centuries and contexts, Baphomet has inspired fear, intrigue, and philosophical debate, often misunderstood as purely sinister, but actually embodying rich layers of symbolism tied to duality, wisdom, and the human search for meaning. This dissertation traces Baphomet's journey from its medieval origins through its role in occult traditions and modern reinterpretations in popular culture. Chapter 1: Origins and the Medieval Perception of Baphomet. Baphomet's earliest references appear in 12th century Europe, primarily associated with accusations against the Knights Templar. In 1307, King Philip IV of France, in a bid to seize Templar wealth, accused the order of heresy, with Baphomet alleged as a mysterious idol they worshipped. Under torture, Templars reportedly confessed to worshipping this figure, often described as a head or skull, but its meaning was unclear. Scholars debate whether Baphomet was a corruption of Muhammad, reflecting medieval European confusion about Islamic influence, or a symbol representing esoteric knowledge. Chapter 2: Baphomet in Occultism and Enlightenment Thought. The 18th and 19th centuries marked a shift in how Baphomet was viewed, as European intellectuals and occultists sought ancient symbols to counter mainstream religious authority. Baphomet was adopted by occultist circles, especially during the Enlightenment, which encouraged exploring human potential and mystical knowledge. Influenced by Kabbalistic, hermetic, and alchemical traditions, occultists reimagined Baphomet as a symbol of knowledge and enlightenment. The French occultist Éliphas Lévi, 1810 to 1875, redefined Baphomet in his work Dogme et Ritual de la Haute Magie, depicting the figure as a winged, goat-headed figure with a pentagram on its forehead. Levi's Baphomet represented the union of opposites, male and female, light and dark, animal and human, symbolizing balance and transcendence rather than evil. Chapter 3: Baphomet and the Rise of Modern Satanism. Levi's depiction of Baphomet greatly influenced later occultists, notably Anton Lévi, founder of the Church of Satan in 1966. Lévi's reinterpretation turned Baphomet into a central symbol of Satanism, emphasizing individuality, rebellion, and the rejection of imposed moralities. Lévi incorporated the sigil of Baphomet, a pentagram with a goat's head, as the emblem of his church, intending it to represent self-empowerment and secular humanism. By positioning Baphomet as an icon of defiance rather than evil, Lévi sparked a cultural re-examination of the figure, which became associated with countercultural movements. Chapter 4: Baphomet in Contemporary Popular Culture. In modern times, Baphomet has permeated popular culture, appearing in music, film, literature, and visual arts, often symbolizing anti-establishment sentiments. The metal and goth subcultures adopted Baphomet as a statement against societal norms and as a symbol of empowerment. Additionally, films, television shows, and books depict Baphomet as either a mystical symbol or a misunderstood entity, reflecting society's shifting attitudes toward religious iconography. In recent years, groups such as the Satanic Temple have used Baphomet to champion religious freedom and secularism, often displaying statues of Baphomet in public spaces to advocate for separation of church and state. Chapter 5: Symbolism and Philosophical Interpretations. The complex symbolism of Baphomet, merging human and animal, male and female, above and below, embodies the philosophical principle of unity in duality. Esoteric traditions interpret Baphomet as an alchemical archetype, representing the transformative power of reconciling opposites within oneself. Psychoanalysts view Baphomet as a manifestation of the shadow self, encouraging individuals to confront and integrate repressed aspects of their psyche. This interpretation resonates with Carl Jung's ideas about shadow work and individuation, suggesting Baphomet's continued relevance as a psychological tool. Chapter 6: Modern Misinterpretations and Cultural Stigma. Despite modern reinterpretations, Baphomet remains stigmatized, often misinterpreted as solely demonic or satanic. This perception, rooted in medieval Christian fear and sensationalized by modern media, obscures the complex meanings associated with the figure. Some religious communities view Baphomet as a threat, equating it with spiritual rebellion and moral decline. However, alternative spiritual movements see it as a symbol of personal sovereignty and philosophical freedom, challenging mainstream conceptions of good and evil. Conclusion: the timeless legacy of Baphomet. The history of Baphomet reflects society's changing values and evolving attitudes toward knowledge, power, and spirituality. From its origins as an obscure symbol of accusation to its current role as an icon of alternative spirituality, Baphomet challenges us to explore dualities within ourselves and question established norms. Its presence across cultures and eras underscores humanity's enduring fascination with mystery, balance, and self-realization. Today, Baphomet serves not only as a symbol, but as a reminder of the power inherent in confronting and integrating our personal and collective shadows, offering a path toward greater understanding and wholeness in a complex world.